Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Friday. So you're going to get your weekly Manhattan market update, Johnny. It's the dog days of summer. It is hot. It is humid, but we're looking at supply. It's a 6,142. It's not going below that 6,000 handle. Looks like it ticked back up a little bit. Johnny, show me that chart.
No, Manhattan supply, like a dog, is just lying around. It's doing a whole lot of nothing here, Noah.
Well, that's what the dog should be doing during this kind of day of summer. It should be lying around and getting some water sprayed on them. All right, let's move on to pending sales. The measure of Manhattan demand, 4,475 units. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yes, that's actually a tick up. And I will be honest, Noah, I really expected pending sales to just sort of steadily decline here in the summer. And it's just holding its own. It's actually up 2% from the week before, which is up another 2% from the week before that. So it's at a place, it's actually higher than it was back in February. I'm a little surprised to see that, but it's a good surprise to have, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a 6-month measure, so I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if there's things that are going back and who knows what's going on over there. But yeah, it is strange to see. I think over time, I think that steady decline will resurface, Johnny. But we'll deal with that when it happens. I look at the market pulse. It's looking at supply and demand. It is hovering in the low 0.7s. This market's not crashing. I just want to be very clear about that. It's not crashing. We have shifted. We're kind of resetting to a new macro environment. I'm sure a lot of sellers are not just so gung-ho to hit bids, but I'm just anecdotally hearing it. I know this is not something that we talk about that often, but I'm talking to a lot of brokers, and I heard a couple of attorneys as well, and all of them are telling me the last couple of weeks starting to see some activity come back to the market. So I don't know if buyers are starting to see some value or looking to get some play here. I don't know. Let's go to the weeklies and see if we can see anything there. I think it's too early, but we'll check. Here's supply, 274 things. 1 week looks like it's down. Johnny, show me that chart.
It is down, no, but look at this chart. I mean, we are right on that 2019 line, and that is sort of going back to what you're just talking about, sort of that the market's not dead. It's simply just going back to normal, and that's exactly what we're seeing supply. And we get to contract signs, we're going to see that as well there.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's we talk about the relative slowdown. You talked about this so often, John, and you were so early and spot on in that relative call that the experience of this relative slowdown really makes it feel much worse than it really is. We're just going back to what our normal market was before this whole thing started, and that's the adjustment we have to go through. Let's move on to deal volume for the last 7 days. Again, July is not the time for heavy deal volume, and I don't see a big number here, 191. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, and that's down 6% or so from the week before. But again, look at these lines. Look at these. That bar for this year is right on that 2019. I mean, we are off by just a couple of contracts. So, 2019 was the year before everything got really funky, and I think it's a good measure. And we're kind of right back to where we were. So, just to echo your previous point, the market's not dead. It's simply just, it's just back to normal.
Yeah, isn't it amazing how these markets work? They rubber band one way, they rubber band the other way, and then they kind of regress towards where they really should be. And we're actually seeing it in action. It's something to see. Johnny, let's go to the chart du jour. And I just want to point out real quick that Nicole Beauchamp of Engel Volkers and I just recently put together this piece right here, Cash Investors, Cap Rates and Opportunities. And of course, this is our premium subscription reports and services. And Johnny, you just whipped up this chart, and I love it. I love this chart. This is showing you change since January 2020, year over year, asking rents and resale price per square foot. So the blue bar is going to be asking rents, right? And the red bars are going to be resale sales. And we're looking at that month year over year. So what's the year over year change for that month? And we went back a couple of years. And what you're looking at is you can see the red lines are slowly starting to go down. And again, we're early. This is probably going to go lower as the shift sales start funneling through those pipelines. But more importantly is what I'm really trying to show here is look at those blue bars. Look at what this rental market's doing and looking how it's just running away from the red bars, right? And that's visually showing you how this rental market is soaring right as the sales market's starting to soften, and kind of visualize the potential opportunity of is this a market that's going to see rising cap rates, potential investors, and is this something that's going to put a floor? Is it going to put a floor on how low the sales market potentially goes in this down cycle, John?
I think it's a great point. Aside from the rental story, I think it also echoes back to what you're talking about when you're doing the weeklies, which is that, the market's slowing certainly, but it's not crashing by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, there's some markets across the country that saw parabolic gains.
Yeah.
And you can see here, I mean, the biggest gain year over year was May 21, which is comparing back to pandemic May, and it was 23%. So we are by no means one of the outstanding leaders in terms of price gains across the country. In fact, Manhattan is probably one of the slower markets. So that's going to also serve as a bit of a buffer as things return to normal here.
Yeah, I completely agree, Johnny. And this is a wonderful chart to visualize what the strange dynamics that are happening in our market right now. And we're going to continue to report on them. So Johnny Walkup, thank you so much for pulling up all this data for everyone to see. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We are both from UrbanDigs. By the way, don't forget, if you guys have not seen the Ace Watana Suparp interview, this is a wonderful interview, especially if you have listings out there right now that are not selling. He's got some tips and strategies in there of potentially buying down points to offer instead of negotiating. Interesting ideas. If you want any of the reports that we talked about today, just go right over here in our premium reports and services. It'll be up here in a second. And again, if you have questions and we got answers, just visit our forum. Other than that, this has been your weekly Manhattan market update, and we'll catch you next time.